So speaking of the doctor, how has the staff been here, the DR? How has everybody been?
Wow. Okay, so going back to the DR, the staff there was great. I actually met a guy today who is Dominican, and he came up to visit because we got some cookies and sent them down to the trauma team for all their help that they gave us when we checked in. And my niece made some cute cookies.
I'm going to make a noise for a second.
Okay, that's fine. It's loud, by the way. That getting it out, or maybe not. Anyway, oh, there it goes.
I can show these cookies. They're so cute.
Yeah, she did a really good job. She's got a side business making cookies. So she brought them up for me, or for me to give to my nurses, and so cute. And they smell really good. You should just go ahead and keep that one.
Okay.
Yeah, that was easy.
That was 2 of them.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Just close the cover.
Oh yeah.
So, anyway, my niece made these and brought them up. So we'd sent them down, one box down to the trauma team in the ER, and for, like I was saying, all of their help whenever we got checked in 5 weeks ago. And we mentioned, my name and that the injury had occurred in the Dominican Republic. So this guy, being Dominican, he remembered us from check-in.
Really?
Yeah, so he came up and he stood here and he talked to us for 15-20 minutes, and we just kind of caught up about the DR and different places we had visited, and he was just amazed at how much of the island we actually saw while we were there. And but yeah, so going back to your question, the doctors, the nurses, what was more so the nurses I absolutely loved. The doctors, that's kind of hit and miss. Some of them, one of my last doctors, he was good. He came in every day once I got my private room, checked on me. But while I was in ICU, that was pretty.
This is in the DR.
This was in the DR, yeah. That was just isolation a lot because Jeff only had those 2 times to visit, 30 minutes a day, and man, they were sticklers. One of the nurses would come in like an army sergeant and be like, "Oh, time to go," She'd be like, "That's enough. It's enough. Go home," and shoo everybody out. So, yeah, she wasn't.
And for somebody that's a people person, that was probably killing you.
Oh yeah. I mean, I had the little nurses there, and they were great, and they would come by from time to time, but for the most part, I just laid in my bed counting ceiling tiles, and begging somebody to come around and give me water. That was one of the things that I absolutely it was terrible. They gave me water through a syringe, and it wasn't a big syringe, it was just pretty small, and they would only give me like 3 squirts at the most. Some of the nurses would give me a little bit more, and they'd be like, "You're really thirsty," and I'm like, "I'm dying here. I need like gallons of water, please just hook up something with a straw that's never ending."
Seriously.
So, but the nurses were great. The doctors, they did their job. The surgery was successful from what the U.S. doctors have seen. So can't complain in that, from that at all. It all worked out really well. Now, getting to the U.S. and getting to Parkland.
Whoops.
Okay.
I bounced the table.
Yeah. Getting to Parkland, I cannot say enough about these nurses and doctors. They have been amazing, so caring, so considerate, just completely loving. I mean, I've made some really, at least it feels like, some really good friends here. And now that I'm a day away from leaving, they all seem to be pretty sad about, "Oh my God, you're leaving, you're going home," and I'm the same way. It's a little concerning because I've had so much support and so much help here that they're sending Jeff and I off to do it alone almost. I mean, obviously I'll be at my sister's house and she'll help where she can, but it is a little
daunting.
A little bit. Just to know that all my great nurses that have been here and PCAs, patient care assistants, basically nurses' aides. They've been amazing too. There's 2 levels, PCA 1, PCA 2, and
What is Heather?
Heather's PCA 1.
And
So
Jessica?
she's 2.
Ah.
Yeah. So the 2s obviously can do a little more of the work that the nurses would be required or should be doing. PCA 1s are pretty much just, running, going, getting stuff and checking on patients and stuff like that, but they don't do a lot of the medical necessities that are involved, so.
Well, I can tell you've made a big impact on everybody. They're coming in and they're like already in tears, and not wanting to say goodbye.
Yeah.
And like yesterday, was she even your nurse last night?
No.
She just came in and she's like,
Lovely.
okay, I need to ask you a question because I know that you will give me the brutal honesty. And she just asked this advice. It's like people everybody knows that you're the person to go to.
Oh my gosh.
For
that was funny
truth
too.
in love.
Yeah.
Do you have like any special, I guess you already kind of talked about friendships or any particular moments that stand out?
Yeah, one was actually downstairs on
On the 16th?
It's on the 16th floor, yeah. That nurse's name was Sarah, and this is when my friend Gina and her girlfriend Dana came the first time, and I guess we were on the 6th, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Sarah's on the 16th floor. Anyway, we asked Sarah, would it be okay if Dana cut my hair? And she was like, sure, no problem. So we were like, okay, well, can we unplug this monitor and unplug that monitor so that we can lift her up and hold her in place so that we can get the haircut in the back?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, so Sarah came in and she was like, sure, no problem. So she started unplugging, these wires and things that I was hooked up to when I was down on the 16th floor. She actually held me up while Dana cut my hair.
Wow.
So she was amazing. She did so much for me. She came in several times as my nurse, and she's one of the ones that really stands out as going above and beyond, because some of the things that she was doing, she probably shouldn't have been, but who cares?
Has she been up to visit you since you?
No, she hasn't. I wish she would, but she hasn't. And I know that, when these nurses come in, they stay busy. They stay really busy, so, well, at least down on the 16th floor, because it is more of a ICU and what was it called, PCU or something? Patient care, I forget. Anyway, half of it is ICU.
Was on that floor.
Yeah, half of it's ICU, and the other is not necessarily ICU, but I think
ICU light?
something like that. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So, I think it was called PCU, but I forget what that stands for. There's a lot of acronyms going around here. So, but yeah, she was, that's something that really stood out, was that she just was like all in it. She did whatever she could to help and make sure that I got that girl, that girly weekend. What was Jeff calling it?
A spa weekend?
Yeah, it was like a spa weekend for me, because I got,
you got your nails?
yeah, manicure, pedicure, got my hair cut. I was exfoliated. Oh my gosh, it was awesome. So it was a great weekend, and Sarah was
straighten this. You got a little shadow on your face. Thanks. Okay.
Sarah was just right there in the middle of it, and just did whatever she could to make sure that weekend it went off without a hitch. So that's, yeah.